Hey, welcome back. I'm John F. Gately, broadcasting to you from beautiful Plymouth, Massachusetts. And boy, there are a lot of stories to talk about today. We have the crazy spy balloon / weather balloon situation. We have the U-Haul situation in Brooklyn. But I found the craziest story out of California, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about in this episode today. In the state of California, the sanctuary state, just like here in Massachusetts, really, they're considering a bill to allow in-state tuition for students that are, how do I say this, from another country. From another country. So we already have efforts, like in Arizona, where they just passed a ballot question to provide in-state tuition at state colleges and universities to illegal immigrants. So if you're in Arizona illegally and you went to high school there illegally, you can now get in-state tuition in Arizona. I know there's a number of other states, Massachusetts considering this, of course. I mean, how could they possibly allow Arizona to come up with this plan? How did the Massachusetts progressives allow Arizona to get ahead on this, right? Indiana, there's any number of states you can Google it to allow in-state tuition for illegal immigrants. But, of course, we always, in the woke world, you always have to double down on stupid consistently. You have to always consistently be doubling down on stupid. So, out of California, out of the San Diego area, we have this report from Border Report. Border Report, by the way, borderreport.com. If you're not reading borderreport.com on a regular basis, if you're interested in the border, it's an eye-opener for sure. 2 thumbs up to Border Report. Not that I agree with everything they say, but they're giving you a good border report for sure. So here we are, California considering in-state tuition for students from Mexico. So you don't even have to bother to illegally cross into the United States anymore if this proposal should pass. Here we are in San Diego. California Assemblyman David Alvarez had introduced a bill that would allow Mexican students who live, I can't even read this with a straight face, who live within 45 miles of the border to pay in-state tuition at community colleges in the San Diego and Imperial counties. So basically, greater San Diego. According to Southwestern Community College administrators, the current student rate per unit, I guess per credit, is $291. If the bill passes, students from northern Baja California, in other words, from Mexico, would be able to pay $46 per unit, as if they were an actual American citizen. So I guess they'd travel from Baja to these southern San Diego area colleges on a daily basis whenever there was school. Or maybe they take school on the internet or something like that. I don't know how that works. But it's been beginning to make its way through the process in Sacramento. Here's the quote from Alvarez, the bill sponsor. "We live in a dynamic border region, and where we need to educate more students to fill the jobs required for growth." Oh, I get it now. This is all about having Mexicans do the jobs that Americans don't want to do, right? Forget about the fact that suppresses labor wage and all that other good stuff. No, we don't want to worry about that. We just need the cheap labor from Mexico. Community leaders and community colleges alike came out in favor of the bill. Of course they did. Why? Well, because it's a new revenue source for the college. Of course they did. Let's be clear. It sounds like Elizabeth Warren, doesn't it? We're not giving these students anything. Oh, yeah, you are. We're simply allowing them to pay in-state tuition, which is, as we just covered, like a $250 discount approximately per credit, or unit as they call it out there. We're simply allowing them to pay in-state tuition. In many ways, they're already San Diegans. Is that how you say it? Oh, they're basically just Americans already. Yeah, we're just extending the border. They just happen to live on the other side of the border. Well, the border is there for a reason. It demarks the difference between our country and Mexico, or Canada for that matter, on the north side. Sanchez told Border Report about 16% of the 17,000 students currently enrolled at his school live south of the border in cities like Tijuana. Okay, well, maybe they should. I'm just guessing. Just going to throw out this here that the tuition of $291 per unit doesn't actually cover the real cost of delivering the education. And that is subsidized even for a out-of-state. Imagine the out-of-state tuition still is subsidized. Think of the capital that requires to build these places, to pay the tuition, to pay the pensions. So even if they paid $291, it would still be subsidized in some way, shape, or form. Sanchez said the ability to pay lower tuition rates would benefit thousands of students. Thousands of Mexican students who are not American citizens and not California residents, for that matter, either. I had one student in an engineering program who could no longer maintain the cost of paying the internationals. That's Mexico's problem. That's Mexico's problem. That is Mexico's problem, not ours. That's what represents why we're losing our talent pool, not being able to tap into this binational market. Sanchez added that binational students, you see how it kind of, the distinction of being American versus some other nationality has now been kind of washed away. They're not illegals. They're not from another country. They're binational. Kind of reminds me of, ever see Mad Men when someone describes Don Draper as being bicoastal? Oh, Don's bicoastal. They're just binational. You need to know, we know there is going to be a need for trained workforce moving forward. Yeah. How about Americans being trained? How about that? According to the San Diego Economic Development Corporation, the San Diego must double the number of people with post-secondary education by 2030 to meet the demands of the local economy. You know what could happen here? You know what? Maybe, in order to meet the demands of the local economy, companies start paying employees, in other words, American citizen employees, they start paying citizens of this country more money. More money. If you want to recruit workers from the other part of the country, start paying your local workers more. That's an idea. Rather than illegally import them from some other country and giving them in-state tuition, because we're all San Diegans. Is that how you say that? San Diegoans? Why don't we just use Americans? Why don't we train them up so that they can do these jobs that are apparently on the way? And if you go to any community in, whether it's Plymouth, Massachusetts, or Milwaukee, or wherever, they're always saying we're growing. I just watched a video from Wyoming. I watch a lot of Wyoming. I'm a big fan of Wyoming. And she was talking there about how over the next decade they're going to grow like another 40,000 jobs, which, for a Wyoming, that's a lot, considering they only have like 580,000 people or something like that. Adding another 40,000 jobs over a decade, that's a lot for them. And they're like, we need to train people. We need to recruit people. How about paying Americans more? How about we do that first? Hey, I'm John F. Gately from America's hometown. It is a dark and gloomy February day here. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Don't forget. Thanks for watching here from Massachusetts behind enemy lines. Have a great day. Bye-bye.